Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Suburban Rifleman. I was recently contacted by a company called CV Life. They sell their products through Amazon primarily, and they gave me a selection of different products I might want to review. And after some haggling back and forth, we finally settled on a bipod. This is a clamp-on type bipod. Now, we don't usually recommend supporting a rifle by its barrel, but sometimes you don't have any other options. Sometimes if you want to mount a bipod, there isn't any means for mounting the bipod to the stock. So these can be a useful thing to have. And actually, I want to test that theory in the future. We're going to do a shooting video using this bipod to see how clamping a bipod onto the barrel as opposed to supporting the rifle on the stock will affect the point of impact or whatever. But anyway, this is just a quick first look. Again, the company's called CV Life. They produce a variety of products, a few optics. There were a couple of scopes I had to choose from, but I don't really need any scopes at the moment. As I said, this one just clamps onto the barrel. It comes, it was in a plastic bag. It just comes in a plain cardboard box. There is some literature in here, not very much. It's a pretty simple user's manual that just gives you an idea of how to adjust the legs and position the legs and how to clamp it onto your rifle's barrel. This is a very, very straightforward design, and it looks to be fairly well made. It's mostly made from aluminum with a few steel parts, nicely machined, nice and tight. The legs, which have rubber feet on them for traction, adjust. They're spring-loaded, so we just loosen this collar here, and the legs will spring out. You can adjust them to whatever length you like, and then tighten these collars back down. There are studs on either side, which are also spring-loaded. You simply pull that forward and fold the legs down. And those are fairly supportive. There's a little bit of play in there, but I don't really mind that. When you're shooting off of a bipod, you should sort of preload the legs anyway. You're leaning into it ever so slightly, so that little bit of wobble doesn't really matter, because once you've got the rifle loaded, there's no wobble. The way that it attaches to the barrel is fairly ingenious. It's pretty much like a pipe vise. There's a little latch here that you push in, and that simply hinges open. There's rubber pads on the inside so you don't scratch up your barrel, so that just snaps shut like that. And of course, many barrels come in many different diameters, so there is a knob adjustment here to clamp this pad at the bottom up against the bottom of the barrel, giving you a nice tight fit. But this looks like a pretty nice unit, and I'm looking forward to taking it out and shooting it. And when I do that, I hope to see each of you here then. Later, guys.